Welcome to Raising Three Arrows. My first topic that I'm going to talk about on this channel is our why for homeschooling. We have had a couple of different reasons why we started homeschooling. My son, who is 9, he actually went to kindergarten at our local public school, which is literally like 3 minutes down the road. And we just had a really bad experience, and I won't go into like major details or anything like that, but we just had some uneasiness, and there were lots and lots of tears, even from my oldest and from myself and his siblings, and it was just a very sad time for his kindergarten year. And I know that a lot of moms are ready for their kids to go back to school, and I'm not shaming anyone who is ready for their kids to go back to school, but at the same time, that was just not what I felt like God was calling me to do. I battled with it that whole year. I had thought about pulling him out halfway through, and I was just like, well, let's just see how it goes, and we'll just reassess and try next year or something like that. Well, it just started, it was every day. It was an everyday thing. We had, phone calls from the school that he was sick when he had been perfectly fine. There were just tears that he missed me. He missed his brother. He missed his sister. And at this time, my daughter was fairly young. She was only probably about maybe 5 or 6 months old at this time, and so getting up early and getting everybody out of the door and everything, it was just a struggle in the beginning. And I just missed him every single day, and I would count down the minutes until it was time to go get him. I was up there having lunch with him every chance that I got. I even tried to volunteer in the classroom, and one thing that really bothered me about the classroom that he was in was that I would offer my time. I would offer anything that I could do, and the teacher never took me up on it, because I always, when I knew I would have to send my kids to school eventually one day, I wanted to be that involved parent. I wanted to be the parent that was there when the teacher needed me to make copies, anything, for parties, end of the year parties, Christmas parties, anything like that. That was always a desire that I had, to be in the forefront of my child's education, and knowing what was going on in the schools, and always being present in the school. But it was almost like that wasn't allowed. And that really sat really wrong with me. And this is pre-COVID. This was the year before COVID even started. So, this was actually 2018 when his first year of school. And so there's no blame on that. It wasn't even around at the time as far as rules and restrictions and that sort of thing. It was just very hard to understand why the teacher wouldn't want help, because my mom is a public education teacher, and any help that was ever offered to her, she would take it immediately, just because teachers have a lot on their plate and they could always use the help. So that was one thing that just did not sit really well with me. No matter how much I tried to be in the forefront, it was just pushed back. And I don't think that it wasn't just me. It was all parents. Like, it wasn't even a thing with any of them. So it was just a different thing that I just didn't feel comfortable with. And there were several incidences where he was bullied in school, and I myself was bullied in school, and my son has the kindest heart. He would never hurt a fly, and it's just like, I didn't want him to be going to school and like feeling that he couldn't be himself because of other kids. And that was something that just really bothered me, because I remember that feeling. I know that feeling all too well, and I didn't ever want my kids to experience that. and I know kids, you said kids will be kids, but kids are what they're taught, and kids are what they see every day. They model who they're around, they model their parents and that sort of thing. And it just bothered me to a certain extent that, I just didn't want him to go through those things. And I just, me and my husband, because my husband was the same way, he was just like, well, when is Jackson coming home? Let's just go ahead and go get him from school. And it was just different things like that. And I had just started staying home with both of the boys in 2017, I believe, and then we found out we were pregnant with our third. And I was a working mom before that. I just felt like I missed out on so much during those first few years that I didn't want to miss anymore. We only get our kids for so long, and God has given them to us to raise and to teach. And God has, if you're a parent, you're a teacher. And it's just, that's one of the things that, God was just prying at my heart. Like, okay, it's a sacrifice. It's a huge sacrifice. It was a sacrifice when we decided for me to stay home. I mean, there's things that we gave up. There's things that we still give up, but it is totally worth it. But that is a little bit of our why, and it's just like just being here with my kids, even if we're, just reading together or just playing a game together. It's just precious time that you can't get back, and I'm just so incredibly thankful. Has it always been easy? No, it hasn't always been easy, and we're not promised that it's going to be easy, just like the Christian life. It's not an easy path, but it is totally worth it in the end. And to see those light bulb moments for your kids to learn to read and to learn how to just learn and have a eagerness to learn, and it's just an awesome thing to be able to be a part of. I don't want to get emotional, but it is very emotional that God has allowed me. I don't have a teaching background. He's allowed me, though, as their parent, as their mom, to teach them and guide them in this life. And that's what He gave them to me for. And I'm just forever grateful that we are on this journey. And like I said, it's not always easy. It's not always sunshine and rainbows and nature studies and all of this thing, but it is totally worth it. So I hope that if you're on the fence about homeschooling, just give it a try. Sometimes it's just not meant for some people, but you never know unless you try it. So I hope that this has encouraged someone. I hope that you will come back for more videos. I have lots of videos to come, and like and subscribe, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day.